Here's Cockroach. Cockroach, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, CG.
I miss, rotisserie Fez.
Yeah, he was the best.
I was just wondering, Officer Ron, would you enforce the sodomy laws or no?
No, I got no time for that. I got no time to really enforce many laws. I'd be one of those cops that you see the cop car parked in front of their own house. I'd basically spend most of my time, I'd keep the radio on, and the only real stuff that I would probably deal with is psycho killers. I would love to do that, and I'd tell you how I'd get them, Fez.
How's that?
Numbers. You see, we use numbers every day, and we can use numbers to solve crimes.
I don't know how they pull that one off.
I solved this crime with the number 6. See? 6. I know so many people that are so obsessed with the psycho killer things. Schmugs was telling me this, like, oh, I just always want to find out what makes them do that. Like they're a psychologist. And I'm like, no, it's almost like in a rock band.
They are thinking that maybe they'll crack the crime someday.
I don't know. I think they're almost into it, like a little bit. Like guys that like to read everything they can about Hitler.
Every now and then, one comes along that really captures my attention, and I end up, like, reading way too much about it. Like
Give me one.
That BTK killer in Kansas, when they finally caught him.
He killed everybody with a bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich. He was a monster.
So when he started confessing and went through that long thing in the court of describing his crimes, I was reading everything I could about that.
Yeah.
It was weird.
But why him, Fez, and why not any of the others?
I think it's the fact that he didn't get caught. You know, he went 30 years?
Yeah.
And then he didn't get caught until he poked his head up again and started sending out letters and stuff. Like, he started getting attention for himself again.
But he actually, what he did was brought him right to his house. He came right back to his street.
So he was one who was never going to get caught until he opened his pie hole. They weren't the guy. You know, if he hadn't poked his head out again, they never would have got him.
You know how many unsolved murders are out there every single year, and all you really got to do is, like, kill somebody in a different town for no fucking apparent reason. And then you've got to a cop has to luck out and drive up on you. But again, why would a normal person want to just kill somebody?
The problem is, if you could just kill one person you didn't know and move along, that would be fine. They'd probably never catch you.
Here's what I'm saying, though. 100% of these guys are fucking waterheads. They are so retarded, and every time they're looking for somebody, they act like he's a genius. I don't care whether it was Manson, Son of Sam. They always end up being just as stupid as shit. But in the back of their mind, they're all Hannibal Lecter. That's the way the cops talk about him. That's the way the papers write about him. And then, like, look at Manson on TV now. The guy's sitting there and he's just rubbing himself with an old handkerchief that looks like it's 18 years old and never been cleaned once. He's a fucking idiot.
They like to talk about how methodical they are. He took his time with this murder. You know, almost like this could be a surgeon that did this.
I don't get it at all. I don't know the interest. What about you, Earl?
Oh, they're idiots. I mean, a lot of this stuff is done mainly in panic, particularly with disposing of the body.
Let me ask you this, Earl. Ever been a black serial killer? Because it seems like they're always white people.
Yeah, they're always...
Here's the thing about black people. They will kill you for money or dope. White people will kill you just to hear the screams. That's the weird thing about white people. You never hear like, oh, that black guy went out and killed somebody and forgot to take his watch. No, he will kill you for a profit. You owe him money, he may kill you. But he's not going to go off and cut someone's tits off and everything that white guys seem to do.
A real need, not a psychological need.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't savor the moment. They just, get a memento from the occasion. They just do it and go
But see, here's my theory about people that read those books. There's a little fantasy going on. I believe in the back of my mind, they've got like a S&M fantasy thing going down, and they're into it. And the same thing, I think, with people who read like Nazi books and books about Hitler. Same deal. They kind of sit there and fantasize about being Hitler.
like World War II guys who read all these things on World War II
they're
and
fucking
collect the
collecting this stuff, and they're walking around with a Luger. You never see any of these guys ever collecting like English guns. They're always the fucking German guns.
And they're not so much into the battles of World War II or any of the war strategies. It's just that whole Nazi lifestyle.
Yeah, it's they're definitely into it in a big, big way. So you got caught up in that. Any more, Fez?
I'm trying to think. The Zodiac Killer. I watched a thing.
Which one? There was 2 different Zodiac Killers. That's what I hate about that. It's like the Rough Riders in Canadian football.
You know what? I even said that completely wrong. It was the Night Stalker, Richard Ramirez.
Oh, yeah.
That got me caught up into that.
How old are you?
I watched some sort of 2-hour thing on him like a couple of weekends ago.
Yeah.
Just glued to it.
Yeah.
You know, and stuff that would just downright scare me, and I shouldn't be watching it anyway.
Well, you know, not too long ago, I guess it was on the documentary or History Channel, I saw something on Son of Sam, and he really, for a guy who was a fucking retard, running around and just shooting occasionally, he shut down the city of New York. Shut the son of a bitch down. And the guy was not the brilliant guy that they lined up for himself.
One of the things with the Night Stalker they went through is how the different newspapers in that area of California just couldn't come up with a name for him. You know, just things, I think they had the Sidewalk Killer or something like that. They tried.
It's tough to stick, huh?
And finally, one columnist called him the Night Stalker. And finally, he was over. He had his gimmick.
Steve, you're on Ron and Fez.
How's it going, buddies?
Yeah, buddy.
Just wanted to let you know there was a black serial killer. His name was Wayne Williams. He killed black children in Atlanta.
Well, that's an odd one because Wayne Williams is one of the ones that everybody always thought in the back of their mind was innocent. I don't know if he was innocent, but there was always a thing of a lot of those killings even went on after him. And again, I only know that from my friends that seem like they can't tell you a sports score or they don't know anything about movies or art. At a party, they're holding court, talking about the Atlanta killings from 1980 or whatever that was. Hey, Sean, you're on Run and Fez.
Yeah, what about the DC sniper?
Oh, yeah, black guy.
Yep.
Definitely black guy, yeah.
John Allen Muhammad.
What's his name?
John Allen Muhammad.
No. Here's Adam. Adam, you're on Run and Fez.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, buddy.
Yeah, Poughkeepsie's got the first black serial killer. He killed 12 hookers and buried them in his backyard.
Now, why isn't he bigger than Jack the Ripper? I've never even heard of the Poughkeepsie guy. Jack the Ripper only killed like 5 hookers, and this guy picked up a dozen for himself. Doesn't even have a nickname.
Yeah, I never even heard the regular name.
Here's our buddy Mike the teacher. How you doing, Mike?
Hey, guys. Guilty as charged. Ed Gein, the book on him I read.
Why do you read these things?
I don't know. I put myself, like you said, it's some weird fantasy thing. I don't understand myself, but I'd like to read about the crime scenes, all the little gory details, exactly what they found, where it was.
All right, now here's the thing, and I want you to be 100% honest.
Yep.
Do you relate to the victim, the killer, the cop? What are you relating to when you're reading these books?
The killers and the cops, but mostly the killer. I'm wondering what the hell was going on in, say, Ed Gein's mind that he was tracking down these women, digging them out of their graves, bringing them back home, taking their flesh off and putting them on his walls and wearing the shit.
See, you're finally honest. I honestly think 100% of the people that read those books identify with the killer.
Yeah, and the other one I was mentioning was Richard Speck. This guy in 1966, he was the one who killed those 8 student nurses in that house.
Right.
He just held them with a knife, and they just froze, and one at a time he took, beat, raped, and then killed them all. One hid under a bed and listened to the whole thing, and that's she survived, ran out screaming. That's how they found out about it. I read about him, and it's just, I don't know why.
I saw a thing about 10 years ago that he was, he's still living in, they had film of him. He's in a jail. He was fucking getting high and had tits. Somehow he got a titty job.
Right. He did this, I think you're right.
And they showed things of him doing rails.
That is really saving up your prison kitchen work money.
Unbelievable.
All right, talk to you later. All right, so Mike admitted the truth, Fezzi, that when you read these books, like you, Fezzi, with the Night Stalker, you think of yourself as the Night Stalker, walking around, choking people out. It's like a power thing.
Could I get away with it?
Is that what you really do?
I always think about that, yeah. Could I get away with it?
You better pick something where you don't kill with your bare hands, because you don't have much of a grip.
No, that was one of the things the BTK killer came up with. He was saying he was amazed the first time he went to kill someone, how hard it was to choke someone out.
Right, it is. Well, it's only in movies that that's 100% of where we think we know about killing is in movies. And, in the movies, the cops never show up. You could have a gun battle, all the kind of stuff. In reality, if you started having a gunfight, you probably have a couple of minutes. And if you try to choke somebody out, you probably don't have the cardiovascular alone to pull it off.
He was saying it messed up his whole plan because his first victim he had stalked for a while, knew exactly how he wanted to do it, and then couldn't choke her out, so he had to grab his gun and shoot her.
All right, here's the Radio Shark. He says he's had a run-in with a serial killer. How you doing, Shark?
Yeah, I used to deliver newspapers to one, a real early one. It was before Son of Sam.
Who was that?
His name was Cottingham, Richard Cottingham, and his nickname was the Ripper. And he used to pick up hookers over at Plato's Retreat in the city. And he used to bring them back and strangle them and kill them. And he was on my newspaper route.
Did you ever meet him and stuff?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he used to work for computers. He was in computers in the early 70s. And he drove a 74 black and white Charger. And he was married and had kids. And I delivered newspapers to him. And he would always ask me if I wanted a Fresca.
I'm sure he did. Why don't you come on in and put some lipstick on and have a little drink?
Do not take that Fresca.
He was the normalest-looking guy. He almost looked like the guy that shot John Lennon with glasses like that and blonde.
Yeah, they all kind of look like Chapman. They all have that fucking weird Chapman look about them.
And the funny thing is, one day I'm coming up to his house, deliver the papers, and there's all these black squad cars, unmarked cars all over the place. And there's these detectives on his front porch. I didn't know who they were. And they go to me, hey, what are you doing? I said, well, I'm delivering a paper over here. They said, give me the paper. I said, well, make sure Cottingham gets it, And then I went on my route.
That's right out of a movie.
Or I'll choke him.
And then the next day on the front page of the papers, there it was saying that he was caught, and that he was a murderer and stuff.
While you're delivering it.
Yeah, and I had to go back there again. They took the paper from me again.
Yeah.
But I never got paid for that last week of papers.
See, that would have fucking annoyed me. And I'd start chasing him like that movie from the 80s.
He went and took off.
I want my $2. All right, see you later, man.
Can I get the paper that shows me being captured on the cover, please?
We used to do a morning show in Florida, and, of course, you can't have more serial killers in Florida. They're all over the place. And I think 2 or 3 of them used to write to us. And, just crazy fucking drawings. And they would, because I guess you got nothing to do during the day. You listen to the radio. So a lot of killers would write to us, but the serial killers would always ask for the same thing. Can you play more Ozzy? And I'm not fucking making that up. They always would ask for more Ozzy.
There must be
every single time.
There must be an endless supply of paper in prison on death row, because those letters would just be long, rambling, and just pages.
Yeah, but what else do you got to do? I mean, you've got 24 hours to kill. And all of them always drew. We probably should have saved them. But you're always really creeped out by it. Here's Rich. Rich, you're on Run and Fez. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, what's going on?
Yeah.
Some of the best books, actually, that I've read on serial killers, because I'm into that crazy shit as well. Don't know why.
Yeah, you do. You know why. Seriously. Do you fantasize about it?
Fantasize. Yep, that's pretty much it.
Thank you.
But I've been written by John Douglas. He's the guy who basically started the FBI profiling unit. And he goes into details on how when he approaches the scene, he's able to back out and tell you everything about this guy, down to whether or not he has a speech impediment. I mean, to some degree, it's almost like a manual for anybody who wanted to start, but they're fascinating books. He has a bunch of them out.
All right, see you later, and best of luck with it. I think people fantasize, and I don't mean that if you read these books, that's what you're going to do. But I do think it's just you're titillated. You enjoy it a little bit. You're excited by the whole thing. Here's Delicious. Delicious, you're on Run and Fez.
Buddies, what's up?
Yeah.
The guy from Poughkeepsie's name was Kendall Francois.
Mm-hmm.
He killed my friend's sister. She was a heroin addict and started tipping D for cash.
Man, that don't make you a bad person.
No, you got to do what you got to do. But
you know what? If you take me and Fez, we've had both those problems. So go ahead.
Turn the trick.
Yeah. All right, thank you very much.
Hey.
Half each, Fezzy. We split on that one. Here's Brooks. Brooks, you're on Fez.
Hey, Brooks.
Hey, hi, guys.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what a thrill it is to talk to you.
Thanks, buddy.
I never called, but here's my story. When I was 6, you're absolutely right about people thinking they know what happens when somebody's shot or stabbed or hit or whatever. When I was 16 years old in Paducah, Kentucky, on a Saturday, I happened to be walking down 3rd Street, sort of a rough area down on the river, and I watched a guy step out of a bar right in front of 2 other fellows walking down the street in front of me, and he shot this guy 4 times in the chest and the torso, point-blank range. I mean, 5, 6 feet away. Now, as I remember it was a smaller caliber handgun, like a 22 or a 32 or something.
Right.
So he reached out and took the pistol out of this guy's hand and beat the shit out of him.
With 4 in him.
With 4 in him. Now, he did collapse. He lived. He lived. I followed it all in the paper. But, yeah, I mean, it ain't like the movies where you get shot, you fall down. This guy steps out, goes pop, 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 and he goes, snatches the gun out of his hand and starts clubbing him about the head, neck, and shoulders.
Yeah, all kinds of weird stuff happens like that. One time I was working in a hotel, right, a real fucking seedy hotel, and I was doing like this overnight shift, and every gimmick we were working on was bad. It was hookers, dope, the whole fucking 9 yards, the gambling thing. So this guy calls, this fucking chick calls, and she's like screaming, "Oh, there's been a shooting in my room," right? So I go running up there, I'm like, I don't know, 18 or something. The whole fucking thing was exciting to me. The guy's sitting on the floor, his stomach shot open. There was no blood. I didn't see any blood, but all kinds of innards were hanging out, looking like spaghetti. So they're all hanging out, right? The woman's going like this, someone came in here. And by the way, the guy's paralyzed now. His legs aren't moving, right? And she's going, someone comes in here and shot him. He goes like this, "You fucking bitch, you shot me." She's still trying to tell me, like he's dead, and she's trying to come up with an excuse why he's yelling, "No, you shot me." This is what he does, because he's with a hooker. "Kid, drag me out of here and fucking put me up front. I can't be found in this whore's room." I go, "Brother, I ain't fucking moving you. With fucking shit all hanging out of your stomach."
That's the first thoughts on someone's mind. She's thinking, how do I get out of this? And instantly comes up with a whole nother story.
Right.
And he's thinking, and he's not even thinking about being gut shot. Just get me out of the hotel.
I know, because everybody's in shock. But here's the weird thing. Would you feel guilty if you were a young night desk clerk and you put the 2 of them together? Would you have a feeling of guilt?
I might have a little bit, yes.
Then why don't I? That's the interesting thing about me.
I would have some.
Not even any. Here's Jason. Jason, you're on Run Fuzz.
All right. I got the greatest serial killer ever, buddies.
Yeah.
Iceman, Richard Kuklinski. He did all those HBO specials.
Was that the guy in Russia?
He was a hitman and stuff like that.
Yeah, go ahead.
When he would go out and do sick stuff, and like he'd give people cyanide, and he'd
I never saw
steroids.
it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was all over HBO. They did like 3 specials with him.
You obsessed on him?
Oh, he's great. I love him.
What do you mean he's great?
Oh, like just the stuff that he'd sit there and they'd have interviews with psychologists, and he'd sit there and like talk about how he was beat by his father.
Right.
And with the look in his face, it's like, this guy is crazy. You just know he's messed up.
Not one of these guys had a good childhood that I can tell of. There was a lot of molesting took place. Now, that's no excuse. If you get molested as a kid, doesn't mean it's okay that you grew up to be a serial killer. But it does seem to be a tie-in.
A lot of molesting, a lot of, like, animal abuse and cat killing and stuff.
Yeah, but before the cat killing, something happened to them, it seems like. Something got them to that point of being a mad dog killer. Hey, Tony, you're on Run Fez.
Hey, buddies. What's going on?
Hey.
Hey, first-time caller, but I love you guys. I'm glad you guys are on XM.
Thanks, man.
You guys are Florida boys. Back in 1990, I was a student at the University of Florida when Danny Rowling lost his freaking nut.
He was one of the guys that used to write to us, and his chick came in and did a song. What was it, Fez? Something about the young Grim Reaper in your own eyes?
Yeah.
Fucking sick bitch she was.
That's exactly it. In your own eyes.
And this guy, he had written me this note like, hey, take care of my lady and all this kind of fucking weirdness. And then also, can you guys slam some Ozzy on? That shut down the University of Georgia. They were fucking of Florida. They were petrified. And at that time, one of the theories was that Tom Petty was committing the crimes. That was my theory. Because I figured what woman wouldn't let Tom Petty in? And I know he lived that way, but no, of course he wasn't.
And he couldn't account for his whereabouts. How many students was killed in that rampage, Tony?
5 students.
5.
And I'll tell you the really freaky thing about it is my apartment complex, I don't know how familiar you are with the case, but one of the students that he murdered was working at a Bennigan's, and my apartment complex was right next door to that, and his campsite was about 40 yards or 30 yards in the woods behind my apartment.
Yeah.
And one of my roommates and I, we were walking home from class, and we saw some stuff, like bags or something in the woods, and just joking around, we dared each other to go check out what it was. And I told him, hell no, man, I've seen too many Friday the 13th movies, but it turned out that it was his campsite.
See, that's the thing. They also had this guy, set up like he was a surgeon or a psychologist, some brilliant thing. He was a fucking guy that was camping outside like an idiot.
Cooking beans and keeping crazy diaries of killing these students.
Yeah, it's like a fucking hobo.
Off his fucking meds, yeah, definitely.
All right, talk to you later, man.
Thanks, man.
866 Ron Zero Fez, 866 Ron Zero Fez. If I was a cop and there was a serial killer going on, my thing is, I bet it's some idiot. Some fat fucking idiot wearing glasses, slicking his hair back like a moron.
Nobody wants to hear that. That's not what the papers want.
We believe it to be a moron, is what I would say during the press conference.
And for whatever reason, Catcher in the Rye is always tied in somehow. The book.
They bring that up, but you've read Catcher in the Rye, right?
Yes.
Have you, Fez?
I read that one.
Did anything even come across as to make you feel like, he wants me to kill? I've always have a problem with the Catcher in the Rye connection.
Yeah, I never got the impulse from that book.
Yeah, but not even that. You wouldn't even see how someone else could. Well, let's face it. You listen to, Marilyn Manson, you wouldn't go out and kill, but you go, maybe if I was a fucking retard killer, this would be the kind of music I would dig. But I don't understand the Catcher in the Rye connection at all. All right, look who it is. It's the Dirty Water Dog guy. He wants to tell us about the museum that he was at. Here comes East Side Dave. Dave, you're into this stuff as well?
I love it. Yeah.
Why do you love it?
Because it's like if you're not huge into sports, although I am, it's like you collect them like baseball cards and stuff.
But why? There's got to be something that puts here's the weird thing. A lot of guys that read killer books like this don't read any other kind of books.
I don't read anything else but comic books and books on Dahmer and Charles Manson and stuff like that.
All right, do you understand that makes you look like a mad dog yourself?
No, because I don't really have violent thoughts at all.
But you got these books piled up like somebody would have a library, but it's all murder books, one after another, broken up by an occasional Thor.
And even if you were suspected of something and a cop searched your apartment, you would look like the nut who's doing it.
I'd fucking go down like a sack of potatoes if that happened, yeah.
Would you?
Oh, yeah. But, hey.
You know what? If they ever try to come here, and Earl, write this down, fucking turn this place into Waco. I will turn it into Waco.
I have postcards that are the clowns that John Wayne Gacy then he made a bunch of paintings of the clowns himself, and I have multiple postcards in my apartment. If you ever want to come over, Mr. W, and peruse them.
I'm not fucking going to that death trap.
Sounds too scary.
They're great. I actually think his artwork was quite good. He was an advanced student. As far as I'm concerned.
You familiar with even any other artist?
Van Gogh and Gacy.
So you have no way of knowing if a guy who paints clowns is a good
I couldn't
artist.
do it.
Yeah, I know you couldn't.
I draw little stick figures. That's it.
Hey, you get this then.
White people are so scared of black.
Earl, I'm sorry you had to hear that.
It's okay, Ron.
Yeah. Don't use that kind of language around here.
I apologize.
No one's going to correct me.
I got these postcards from the Museum of Death in L.A., and it's a museum where they have paraphernalia and memorabilia that you can like look at. Like they have a baseball in there. Best wishes, Charles Manson.
Now, why would he ever sign a ball?
That's why it's funny.
When he played AAA. I forgot. He was a mud hen.
No, it's like these people have such disturbed the imaginations that it's kind of like he's their Mickey Mantle, so they actually have him signing a baseball.
He is the big one, right? He's the godfather. You can't get any bigger than Manson.
I really think he's overrated.
I understand, but everybody would also say the same thing about Mickey Mantle. That's when you know the guy's at the top. When like Ali, someone will always say he's overrated.
Because he didn't do a lot of the killing himself.
He didn't do any.
I'm a big fan.
He killed one guy.
I'm a big fan Dahmer, even though he is, possibly on the gay side a little bit.
Possibly. Look at you, JD. You're on Run Fez.
Hey, I've actually written and received letters from Manson and Tex Watson.
All right, tell me what you wrote in your letter to Manson.
Just basically kind of almost flattering him, just trying to get on his good side to where he'd write back. That was the main thing.
All right, so just what was your reason to flatter Charles Manson?
Mostly just to get an autograph, because when they send letters out from prison, they have to sign the envelope, All
right, let me get into this, JD. Why would you want an autograph from Charles Manson?
Oh, man, it's worth money. I mean, if nothing else, hang on to it for a few years. Shoot, right now on different websites, you can sell that shit for $100 a pop.
But you could do the same thing with George Clooney's. You know what I'm saying? You could do the same thing with Willie Mays. Why Charles Manson? You know it's not about money. You flattered this guy that killed these people so that you could get him to write back to you.
Yeah, and the thing is, when he writes back, most of it's just rambling. I mean, there's very few sentences are connected.
I've seen him on TV, and he's a rambling motherfucker. He's a rambling man.
JD,
yeah.
Off the air, can you sell that to me if you don't want it?
My favorite one time is I saw him, I think it was like on an HBO thing, and then they showed the girls that killed for him. I forget who it was.
Like Pippi or...
Pippi. Susan Atkins was definitely one of them.
Squeaky, not Pippi.
But so he takes a look.
Pippi was his dog.
So by this time, Manson looks like Boxcar Willie. He's got this crazy old fucking beard, and he takes a look at these chicks and he goes, "They got old on me." He was fucking turned off. He's been jacking off to these two, stuck at age 19 for like 35 years.
I spanked it to Squeaky.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Swear to God.
Swear to Jesus.
You are out of your mind, man. Why?
Anytime there's an A&E documentary on Squeaky, God,
she's the one that couldn't even. She tried to kill Gerald Ford, couldn't pull it off.
I know. She's just one piece of ass.
You're out of your mind.
Gerald Ford thought the same thing.
Hey, also with the whole Tex Watson thing, he's actually got a website that somebody runs for him, and it's kind of a Reborn Ministries type thing, outreach.
Yeah, Son of Sam, they all turn to Christ. Gives them a reason to keep talking.
But he wrote a book, and it's very detailed. I mean, if you guys find it, I mean, it's out there. And the actual book is on the website. You can read it from there. You can't buy it or nothing, and it's very graphic, and he goes into very detailed explanation of exactly how he killed everybody that he killed.
Sounds like a born-again Christian. He really does. Seems like he's really still into it. All right, well, let us know the next time you write to a nut, okay?
Will do.
See you later. I kind of flattered him. That's what he's saying. Hey, you're the best out of all the serial killers.
Like he's writing someone out of Tiger Beat magazine or something.
Here's Jim. Jim, you're on Run Fez.
Hey, Ron. Hey, Fezzy.
Hey, buddy.
I got a short story for you. That's, it's kind of a long story, but I actually met Sirhan at Corcoran State Prison. I was fixing photocopiers for a copier company in Fresno, and Corcoran State Prison was one of our clients, and I was in the 4A law library, and Sirhan was in there, but I didn't know it was Sirhan, and usually deal with inmates all the time. They're like the secretaries in the prison. But this particular day, Manson is also there, and he was in general population for the first time since they set him on fire in Vacaville. So it's kind of the talk around town in the prison. But I brought it up to this guy, and he said, "Well, you don't have to worry about Manson. He's just an old man. He puts on a big act when the cameras come in here. He's programming, which means he's minding, is doing what he's supposed to." And I didn't know it was Sirhan. He goes, "The one you want to worry about is Sirhan." I said, I didn't even know who it was. And I said, Sirhan, he's here? And he goes, yeah. I said, yeah, I saw something about him on Unsolved Mysteries or something. He said, yeah, but, I mean, I said, they said he didn't act alone. And he goes, yeah, well, I think he acted alone. All the time, I didn't know it's Sirhan I'm talking to. And the correction officer's right behind me, listening to the conversation, and he's chuckling and stuff and never told me.
You're talking to a shark. Yeah. Wow. That's a weird one. You should have, when you found out, you should have started talking like with a New England accent, just fucking driving him crazy.
Well, the way I found out is the correction officer told Sirhan, he goes, okay, Sirhan, get off my typewriter and go home because it was 5 o'clock. And I guess the look on my face said it all because the black inmate that was there and the correction officer both started laughing at me.
There's no, if I am, the only way I'm going to be in jail is if I'm busted and put in jail. I could have no job where I would show up at a prison every day. It would just be too fucking depressing.
How do you have a good day?
You're just doing time on the time installment plan, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, thanks, buddy. It would be too awful.
Yeah, Mr. B, if someone gave you $1 million to do like a Folsom Prison comedy set on stage, you wouldn't do it,
yes,
is what you're telling me?
Aha! All right.
Yes!
Is that your
We
fucking
got him,
point?
Fez! We got him!
Is that your fucking point?
I get 5 points.
Yeah, I'm saying I'm not going to work as a guard or very rarely.
It's a job.
I'm going to tell you right now. I'm willing to say there's never been one entertainer paid $1 million to go into a prison. Normally you get like $300 to do that. But what I'm saying, I couldn't work as a guard or an accountant and just. I don't know whether if you guys have ever even visited friends that are in prison.
Never.
It's so fucking depressing. It's just terrible. The sounds that you hear and the fucking yelling never stops, and it's just awful.
I've been in jail, but not in prison. Prison's a whole different animal.
Yeah, it's a whole different fucking thing. Yeah, everybody's done overnight. Let's not make a big deal about the drunk tank. Everyone's dad's been in the drunk tank. Is this Paranoid?
Yeah, hi guys, how are you?
How are you, pal?
Hey, I know you're a little upset with me, but I just wanted to get this.
No one is upset with you. I don't know why. I don't know whether you're off the meds, but I've gotten some odd emails from him thinking that we're mad and sending him secret messages again.
I just hear things certain ways.
Yeah, I know you do, buddy.
You know, it's not that I think everybody kind of fantasizes either in a sexual way or a normal way about killing people. And
I think that's there. I don't know about sexual, but I think it's part of the human condition of, just when you think about military or being cop, could I take somebody down as part of it all the time? We're animals.
Right, and the older I get, the more and more I'm having these thoughts, like sitting in the DMV the other day. For no reason, I'm thinking, I could just kick this door in and take this whole place out. I could just walk into this supermarket and start shooting people. So now I have to find myself being extra nice to people just so when the media comes around, they'll go, oh,
right.
He's such a nice guy.
But you're worried one day we're going to turn on TV, we're going to go, oh, look, they're replaying Waco, but it's going to be your house.
Yeah, I totally think, I'm not that far off. I'm always one step, just something could happen that would snap me.
Right.
And I could do something. Not so much that I want to get a kick out of killing anybody or anything like that. It's just... I can't even explain it, why these thoughts come into my head.
If you're looking for real relief, and I think it would probably stop the pressure that you're feeling forever. And I mean, it'll take a brave man to do it, but you're going to have to kill Fez because that's the voice in your head. That's what's causing you these problems.
Don't kill. Don't kill.
Must kill Fez.
Perfect.
Will do.
Do not kill me.
And then I'll
I'm
be on
really
TV
pissed.
going like this. I never thought anything would happen until I brought it up. That's where I made the mistake.
We thought he was just a silly joke writer with songs, man.
Stick to the DMV for your shoot-up.
Talk to you later, buddy.
Bye.
I can't stand you fucking people that just love serial killers. Love serial killers.
There's a new one in England, a new family. It was a mother and a father in the early 90s, and they used to invite teenagers over to their house, and they had children. And when the children were away, they would kill them and put them underneath their house. And that's the new thing. That's a huge rage all in England. They're the American, or they're the British Manson family.
Yeah.
Oh,
what the kids did not know that their own parents were fucking serial killers?
No.
They weren't abusing the kids. They weren't crazy people to the kids?
I think they abuse the kids a little bit.
A little bit.
What happened was, and this is actually, it sounds like a cartoon, but the kid noticed there was a lot of lumps in his backyard.
Oh, God. Dig deep, you idiots.
My BTK killer was living the normal life. Kids.
All hated him, though.
Right.
No one ever thought of him as a normal guy.
That's true.
Yeah.
Everybody went, yeah, we thought something was happening. We always thought he was the killer.
Volunteered at his church and stuff.
Yeah, the Iceman lived a normal life, ran a business, had a wife, 2 kids. They had no idea that, like, at night he would just go out and start whacking people.
Well, I mean, let's just figure, guys that go out with hookers, their wife and kids don't know about it. I mean, all of us have somewhat of a secret life. We never knew that, East Side just sits around reading murder books all the time, trying to trick me into, what about for $1 million? Would you go do 15-minute stand-up set? We got him, Fez.
I got you.
We got him. John, you're on Ron and Fez.
What's up, boys?
Hey, buddy.
Hey, I was going to warn you real quick. I know a physician in Florida who does the forensics, and he did a lot of the famous cases like Bundy and the chick that Charlize Theron played that killed everybody. And he said that kid from Florida really blew everybody away. But I think East Side Day is the one you got to worry about, man.
Yeah.
He's one day talking about not banging the hot models like Pam Anderson, then he's daydreaming about some guy's hairy balls, and then he's talking about fantasizing about these serial killers. You guys better watch out.
I know, he's got all the weird, self-mutilating stuff going down, and
you better watch out for me, Larry.
Yeah.
Just a bad day away from a snap.
I could turn it up a notch if I had to. If I had to, I'm saying. I could turn it up a notch.
Turn what up a notch?
You know what I'm saying. I don't want to say it because of legal reasons.
You're as weird as you can get already. Now, I do want to say happy birthday to a good buddy of ours from ronfez.net. Sheepy's birthday. Everybody loves Sheepy.
Happy birthday, Sheepy.
So, we're going to get him a tux and send him out to the prom with Crazy Claire tonight.
That was one of my favorite things ever, getting Sheepy ready for his prom. I just loved that whole process.
Here's what I was thinking. He's probably got a 5-year reunion coming up, so we could make her go with him back to that, so the kids will think, fuck, he really did nail that chick. That really is his broad.
She's still with him.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a great kid. I saw him not too long ago. He's doing very well for himself, too. Did you talk to Just John or Mikey Boy or anybody?
Yes, I spoke
because
to
I got
both
a
of
thing
them
from
last night.
Just John about wanting to do a party again. East Side was supposed to be the middleman for that, but
yeah. I've talked to Mikey Boy several times. Yeah. We set up something, whereas we
serial killer party.
No, we want Solera to be the social coordinator for Ron Fez, and once a month come up with at least
once
a good
month.
No, just
so much.
At least a bar night once a month on top of bigger things like a movie night, a bowling night, and stuff like that. But at least once a month, she should be the social director and find a bar for people to go to.
You still talking? I swear, I shut down about 10 minutes ago. Earl, straight up noon, where's Michelle Gondry?
He's on the way.
You're such a liar.
I know it.
You have no way of knowing that, do you? You're just making that up.
Michelle Gondry's bringing food from the Hard Rock.
I know. If we can't get a burger from the Hard Rock, there's no way we're going to get a genius director to stop by.
On the horn right now.
Don't bother him. Don't bother that man. He might be shooting another great movie.
In Earl's defense, they're not huge on punctuality in Europe. I know that for a fact.
Not in Europe.
I understand that now.
Yeah. Are you telling me that Mussolini couldn't make the trains run on time? Absolutely not. Are you saying that Hitler didn't show up when he was supposed to? You show up to Hitler's house 5 minutes late, and you're going to get your fucking ears cut off.
Maybe I need to work on my analogies.
A lot of times Hitler was early.
All right.
So you're not gay?
No.
What if $1 million to go down on a guy? $1 million.
Yeah, you'd have to give me a name. I mean, I'm not going to...
Brad Pitt.
I guess.
That's a good name.
We got him!
Wait, hold on.
We got him!
Well, $1 million can buy a lot of murder books.
We got him! Can't believe it! We'll take a break. We're right back. Ron and Fez.
Ronnie. Fezzy. The Ron and Fez Show. XM 202.
Back with the Ron and Fez show. 1-866-RON-0-FEZ. That's 1-866-766-0339. Or you can always email us at ronandfez@AOL.com.
Hey, Fezzy, do you know they're going to rip that building down across the street?
No.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah. They're going to rip that one down.
That's a good-looking building.
Shelley's and the building next to it, which is a really gorgeous building. They're both going down in April and putting up some big skyscraper.
I don't like that one bit.
Well, what are you going to do? Progress, Fez. Progress.
I don't think I care for progress, then.
Yeah. Well, what are you going to do? All right, it's the Ron and Fez show. Where's Michelle Gondry, Earl, that you've been bragging about all day?
Unfortunately, he had to postpone.
Who told you at 11 o'clock he wasn't going to do the show?
You did.
And what did you say?
I said it was happening.
And what happened when I said, where is he? It's 12 o'clock. You said he's what? Coming.
Said he was coming. I was assured he was coming.
I want you to hang up the phone. I want you to call Wiki and say to add an extra 30. You're going to be on a 60-day, an unheard of, Fez, 60-day probation.
That has never happened in broadcasting. 60 days?
Here's what I'm doing. Poe's getting 5. Mars getting 5. Give Fez 7. I'm throwing out probations everywhere. And then have Wiki put himself on 15. So everybody I run into today, and it's the best thing. Oh, Bronx Johnny, you just picked up a 20-day probation, which we've never given an intern before. Little Johnny, you just picked up 23-day probation. Everybody's getting probation right now.
The week on me seems harsh.
Yeah. Pickles, you're on Run a Fez.
Hi, buddies.
You're on a 4-day probation, and we'll talk to you next week. 4-day probation, my friend. Peter.
Yes, hi.
You're on a 24-hour probation.
Yeah.
Talk to you in 24.
Just toe the line for a day, Peter.
Nathan.
Yeah?
19-day probation.
Okay.
You just made it 30, my friend. Now you're on a 30-day probation. Want to make it 60?
No, that's okay.
60-day probation.
Oh, now you're in Earl numbers, Nathan.
Unheard of. Fez, you just dropped down to 6.
Thank you.
And you're back to 8 for the tone of thank you.
Thank you?
All right, back to 7. I like the way you raised. I like the way you raised it up there at the end. Pete, you're on Fez.
Hey, Pete.
Hey, gentlemen, it's Ron and Fez. It's an honor to talk to you guys.
Huh?
It's an honor to talk to you guys.
All right, what can we do for you, buddy?
You were talking about serial killers. I don't know if you guys want to lump mass murderers into this.
I don't think you can. I think mass murder is totally different than a serial killer.
Yeah, but what happens is they get their killing done once, and they get it out of their blood. I actually got to meet Timothy McVeigh. I went to Indiana State University in Terre Haute, which is where the federal pen is, where they executed him. And I actually have several friends who became prison guards there and said he was one of the nicest guys you could ever meet. He was up at the crack of dawn, made his bed. His cell was completely immaculate.
He had this gimmick that he was a soldier.
Yeah, exactly.
In the war against the federal government, and he was going to live and die as a soldier.
He wanted to be a SEAL.
The only
But, I mean, he thought at the time he lived his life like a soldier of this fucking one-man army. He took the one-man army gimmick to heart.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he didn't want to be a SEAL. He wanted to be a Green Beret. He was in the
I
Army.
wanted to be a SEAL, but an actual SEAL, and go into the water and live.
Thrown at you? Or
you'd freeze.
You honk the horns.
We'll see.
But the fascination with serial killers, at ISU, they actually have a criminology major where you can emphasize on serial killers and mass murderers. It's a 3-class course, 2 hours per credit, that basically breaks it down. I took them. It was amazing how many people there were waiting lists to get into these classes, and we got to actually read notes by these people and see personal interviews and videotapes of what was going through these people's minds.
These are the only courses that people will show up for. There's something wrong with human beings, and I don't know whether it's just Americans or maybe this is a worldwide thing. But if you even think about it, how many historical figures are pretty much mass murderers? You know, like Alexander the Great, and you know, we Genghis Khan. I mean, these people we focus on every level. Like, it's not just the lowest level of society, but also the intellectuals, the highest levels of thinking. We fucking focus on them.
It's like it tickles some sort of animal part of the brain that's left.
Here's John Smith. John Smith, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Yes.
Go ahead, John.
It's a fairly easy thing to kill another person.
So what? What's your point?
Well, I've done it before.
No, you haven't. It's just a radio gimmick that you're doing right now.
Absolutely, that's what it is. You're right.
All right, thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Yeah, real funny. Here is, I could keep them on and try to play to this thing, but, it's not my fucking job to sit there and pull things out of you. If you got something to say it. If you don't say it. Steve, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Ron, hey, Fez.
Yeah.
Hey, what are you doing with Earl in the studio yet? He stinks.
Earl, what do you say to that one? No, you know what? You got fucked over by the bookers, right, Earl? You believed, who was it, Rachel?
Raquel.
No, what am I going to do? Sir, if you're not happy, I'm terribly sorry.
No, but you got to just say you got screwed over by the booker. It wasn't your fault.
Yeah, it was the last
You
minute
didn't get this booking. There was no way the guy was going to show up. I knew that when you told me today at 10. There's no fucking way he was going to come in here.
No, you got to trust the person's word. And
Why?
What? I trust you.
I am not going to trust your word. If we have a booking, it'll just be a surprise on the air in the future. Because if you told me, oh, this thing isn't 100%, I'm not going to go on the air with it at 11 o'clock, and then we won't care. We won't prepare, and if the person comes in, we'll be able to wing it. But why sit and announce something as the show starts, and then it doesn't?
Yeah, we got a written confirmation. It happens.
To who? You watch Letterman, and he fucking goes, oh, Bruce Willis is going to be here tonight as he starts his show. And then he goes, oh, we just found out Bruce isn't coming as it's time to introduce him? That doesn't fucking happen. That's crazy talk. You want to fucking believe that kind of shit, Earl, that's up to you. And then you'll keep making the same mistake over and over. But I'm not trusting those fucking bookers ever again. I'm not going to go on the air and say something that isn't true. Hey, Nathan, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, guys, how you doing?
Hold on, let me just say something else. Earl, sit up straight like a fucking guy, and don't sit there and act like this is the end of the world. I could give two shits. We do the show every day.
No, I'm good.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying the way that you slouched over, like somehow it fucking ruins your day. It doesn't. I'm just saying, don't make the same mistake over and over.
Okay, no, I'm good.
Hey, Nathan, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, guys, how you doing?
Yeah.
I was curious if you guys had heard the 45-minute audio before the Jonestown massacre where they all committed suicide.
Well, I don't know if all of them committed suicide or some people were kind of forced to drink it, but yeah, I remember when those things ran on the news for a while.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's more of a cult thing.
Yeah.
The cult stuff every once in a while. And we think that it's kind of modern, but it's not. It goes back all the way to the beginning of time, where some cult leader picks out a day and decides that they're all going to heaven if they all do this thing, and off they go.
Was it the Heaven's Gate cult that had the purple shrouds laid all over the bodies? Everyone actually climbed in a bunk for their suicide day.
Because they were going to be on the back of a comet flying off to fucking some new place. I don't know why that you would not be able to land a flying saucer and pick everybody up. Why you got to kill yourself so your soul hops on the back of a comet. But what do I know? I'm not religious that way. I'm not able to follow all the religious things. Hey, Bill, you're on Ron and Fez.
Bill, go ahead.
Hey, buddy. Just wanted to point out, since we're beyond serial killers now to mass murderers, such a big difference, but in this country we actually have a holiday named after a mass murderer, Columbus Day.
Columbus Day. Now, what exactly, I know every year people come out and they're furious, more and more every year, that there is a Columbus Day. But what exactly is blamed on him? What exactly is said that we weren't taught in school?
Oh, he was the conqueror of the people of this land. He conquered them, he kidnapped them, he murdered them. and forced them into, take them back to Spain to teach them Christianity rather than their own, what do you call it?
But I thought some of those people got on the boat with him and they never really came into this country anyway.
Yeah, well, he left settlers here, so, I mean, we named the holiday after him, whether he was, actually had a hand in actually murdering.
Well, so then you can't say that he's the mass murderer if he didn't do it. I know they brought disease to the New World and all that, but that wasn't done on purpose. He was not even meaning to find this place, right?
Well, I guess.
But did he actually go in like Cortez and start chopping people up?
Well, the people that he left behind, his men from the ships did. The settlers. Well, he took a trip back to get more settlers.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, Bill. I mean, I'm going to need somebody that can actually pin some of the stuff to Columbus. But I noticed this, and it's been going on for like 10, 15 years. But every year it gets a little louder, a little louder. Let's get rid of Columbus Day.
You always hear genocide brought up with Columbus now.
And now you're also hearing, hey, he wasn't Italian at all. He was always Spanish. So anything just to rip the Italians off from their little holiday.
The latest Columbus controversy I heard was that the Chinese have a map showing that the Chinese discovered the New World, or America, long before Columbus did. So that's another one piling on.
Well, somehow the people got here from another world. We know that. That's not the same thing as showing up, planting a flag, and writing in it. You know what I mean? We know that there's something between the American Indians and Asian people. Somehow, Alaska was a strait at one time, whatever. The point is somebody showed up in more of a modern time and slapped the flag in, and you could say, here's where civilization showed up to this part of the world. Not that they weren't civilized, but let's face it, you can't compare what they were doing with Europe at the time. And Earl, you know what your folks were doing.
Yes, absolutely.
Here's Keith to try and say now he's just laying down. Not going to be part of the show. He's laying down because he's upset.
No,
Keith the Trucker, you're on Run of Fez.
Hey, Keith.
Hey, how you doing, guys? Great show.
Thanks.
Hey, back in if you think back time of Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, I used to live by that sucker, man. And he was a freak from the get-go, and we'd called in on him several times. We'd catch his ass at night, be sitting in the jacuzzi and stuff, and dude would be peeking up through and hiding through the bushes. We always thought he was just a crankhead or something. He'd sleep all day and be up all night. And, it was just total freak, and everybody knew it, but the cops wouldn't do a damn thing about it.
There's just a whole different kind of weirdo out in California, too.
Oh, man, this dude was something else. I mean, everybody in the whole complex knew this dude was a total just whack bag. And this guy was fucking
Hey, don't hurt the people from whack bag.
Well, that was the term before they ever got that.
All right, man.
We'll use nutcase. I mean, there was times where you catch him peeking in windows and stuff, and they called the cops on the dude, and he ends up, I don't know how many women he ended up killing, but...
Yeah, that's how he used to go in, through the windows.
Was it always just women?
Yeah, he always killed the women.
Yeah.
They'd catch them while they were sleeping, go in and rape them and kill them. And it's like, living, he was like 4 doors down from us. He was just not knowing that, man, you got a psychopath serial killer living 4 doors down from you and don't even know it. But, there are a lot of drugs and shit like that in California. You don't think nothing about it.
Right.
But then all of a sudden you see in the news your neighbors being the shit kicked out of them because they caught him out in the back alley and just beat the shit out of him. And then they bust him for killing all them damn women. I just thought I'd call and throw that in and talk about something that just scare the shit out of you.
Sure, man. You know what? How many times do you think that we've been close to a maniac in your life? I mean, more times than any of us ever want to think about. Hey, Christopher, you're on Run of Fez.
Hey, yeah, this is Christopher driving a truck right now. My father, I don't know how much this is into the serial killer, but he was a sniper in Vietnam. He killed, had 16 confirmed kills. But the way he classified confirmed kills, when a spotter came with him, a lot of times he'd go out in the jungle by himself because it was safer that way.
But I don't think that we're going to call a guy who's in wartime a serial killer. Now, there can be war crimes. You know what I mean? Like, you just can't go out and shoot children or, people that aren't involved in the war. But a sniper with the military is a soldier.
household is very well adjusted.
All right, thank you very much.
He had permission, Christopher.
So he sees his dad as being a serial killer because he was a sniper.
He's telling all the other kids that in school.
Here is Master Joe. Master Joe, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Master Joe.
What about the first emperor of China? He killed 10,000 war prisoners.
You know what, fucking Radio Shark? We took your nice call. We enjoyed you. We had you on the air. And now you're calling back.
Radio Shark? This is Master Joe. Can't you read?
Doing a really bad Chinese accent. Just so you know, Master Po is not Chinese.
But I am.
No,
so
you're
what?
not.
He killed 1,000
No,
people
Joe.
to build the Great Wall of China, too, and 200 people died with him when he got buried.
Thank you very much. Goodbye, Master Joe.